Hey, what's up YouTube? Yesterday, something incredible happened. We hit 1 million subscribers. That is insane. That's absolute insanity. It's incredible. You have no idea how much it actually means to me that we finally hit the 1 million mark. It's a goal that I actually never thought that I'd achieve. It's been such an incredibly out of way milestone that has somehow just snuck up on me that I can't believe it's actually happened. I spent the entire day yesterday, which was the 16th of February, by the way, about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I spent the entire day watching my sub count because I was sure that yesterday was the day that it was going to happen. Spent the entire day just watching the sub counter, and when it finally flicked over from 900,999 to 1 million, I felt such a weird feeling. I felt such a great feeling of like joy and thankfulness and luckiness and gratitude. I felt so incredibly thankful that I'd finally hit this number, and it was weird because I didn't think that I'd feel that way, because it's just a number at the end of the day, right? It's just a random number on the screen. Like, what's the difference between like 100,000, 1 million? Like, it's just a number, but it felt so incredible and it meant so much to me that I just wanted to share it with you guys. I just wanted to say a very, very big thank you to everybody who's made this possible, everybody who's watched the channel, who's enjoyed the channel, who's subscribed, who's took the time out of the day to just interact with the channel in some way, shape or form. Thank you so much to everybody that's made this possible. That's all this video is. It's just a thank you to those of you that have supported the channel at any point in time. Thank you so much. It's so weird to think that there is so many of you. It's absolutely mind-boggling. Whilst I'm feeling this way, whilst I am feeling very nostalgic about the channel, whilst I've been feeling and thinking about where I was and where I am now and how long it's taken, I just wanted to take you guys through a brief history of the channel. I also want to share with you 10 of my favorite builds that I have ever made, and there's a lot to choose from. I've uploaded over 1,310 videos, and I've made so much more stuff than that. I started this channel, in like October the 12th, 2012, and I uploaded my very first video the day after I made my channel on the 13th of October, 2012. And I just want to share a nice little brief history. I want to show you guys some of my favorite builds, and I just want to say once again, thank you to everybody who has supported the channel in some way or another. Thank you so much, honestly, from the bottom of my heart. And I'll try and keep this video as least boring as I possibly can. Oh, and by the way, do you like my gold play button? You don't get this thing for months after you've hit your actual subscriber goal, so I kind of made one of my own. It's not that great. I'm sure the real one will be better, but this will just have to do me for now. So this is my original Minecraft world. Yeah, that's right. I actually still have the save. I had to transfer it from my Xbox 360 to my Xbox One, but everything is exactly how I remember it. Everything that you can see here was built by me and a friend on survival mode. Yeah, that's right, survival mode. Not my favorite, but this is where I fell in love with Minecraft. This is where I really started to love the game and I fell in love with building. It wasn't too bad building on survival because we did have the item duplication glitch, the one where you did something fancy with a furnace and most of the time you managed to duplicate your items. Sometimes though you didn't and you lost what you were using. Kind of irritating when you had diamonds and you didn't have too many of them. Kind of a gamble, but that's okay. It made it a lot more bearable actually having the glitch, but that's what we had to do before we had creative mode. As soon as creative mode came out, that is when I really wanted to start making videos. Although I did make a couple of videos before creative mode. As a matter of fact, this house right here, this one is the very first house and the very first video that I posted to the channel. The video was basically me just building this house, sped up, and at the end of the video, I blew up the house. Yeah, I uploaded that on the 13th of October 2012. Here's a little crater that I actually created, there's probably a pun in there somewhere, by accidentally blowing up some TNT outside of the house. I never bothered to fill it in. But yeah, that's just a fun little fact for you. That is the very first house, and as a matter of fact, the very first building that ever appeared on the channel ever. You can check that out if you want, if you go back into the channel's history. Welcome to my pixel art world. This is the very first creative world that I made as soon as creative mode was released on the consoles. And at the same time, they also released the ability to make super flat worlds. So not only could I make all of the things that I wanted to, that I couldn't really do in survival, but I could also arrange them in rows. And it really did help me develop my OCD nature, as you'll see throughout the entire video. So, I didn't really begin YouTube by wanting to make tutorials. I just made stuff in my worlds and I wanted to show it off and I wanted to share it with people. I never wanted to really show anybody how to make anything. Like I said, I just wanted to showcase stuff like these turtles here, and I wanted to make like some of my favorite game characters. These are some characters out of Final Fantasy IV. And I just wanted to make stuff from video games and from cartoons and stuff that I really enjoyed. Those are some Keyblades from Kingdom Hearts. That second Keyblade over there is actually still one of my favorite builds that I've ever made. But after a while, after posting some stuff to YouTube, after getting a few hundred subscribers, just from showing people stuff that I'd made, I started to get requests to make stuff. So that's why I actually made this series of Steve statues. These are the 8 original Minecraft skins that you could use for Steve. This is so long ago that I didn't even have access to clay to use for the skin tone. I could have used sandstone block, which would have been way better, but now if I could go back and redo it, I'd use white stained clay. But those were the only 8 skins available at the time that I actually made them, which goes to show you how far back we're actually going. So I started to take requests. I made stuff like that, and I made bigger pixel arts and much more impressive builds like the turtle wall that I still haven't finished. And I even made, this is something that might take some of you guys back if you've been a long-term subscriber. This is my channel avatar. This is the Xbox logo. I actually used this as an avatar on YouTube and even as an intro in some of my older videos for way longer than I should have. I actually made it in Minecraft, took a screenshot of it, and I used it as my actual YouTube avatar. But I started to take more and more requests, and I actually started to make tutorials on how to make this stuff. First, I kind of like made bad tutorials where I sped up the video too much, just so that it wouldn't take as long to render and upload. But then I started making slower tutorials of more complex things, of stuff that you guys really wanted to see. Like I started to make some YouTuber pixel art, and the pixel art kind of like melded into statues. So here you can see that we have my very first YouTuber statue that I actually made, which is Sky Does Minecraft. It's still one of my favorite YouTuber statues to date. And I made more and more pixel art, and I just made loads and loads and loads of stuff in this very first world of mine, which is still technically not full. I have well over 100, maybe even 200 pieces of pixel art in this world alone. I really filled out this world, and if you were to look down below at each individual row of pixel art, you even have a little brief description of what we have. So we have like a Spider-Man mask, and we even have like the Hulk. I have a world tour of this world, by the way, so if you're interested in this and kind of like going back in time a little bit, then feel free to check out the individual world tours of any of the worlds that I'm about to show you. But after some time, I did kind of get bored of making pixel art, and I started getting requests for bigger and better things. And that's when things changed. I stopped exclusively making pixel arts and exclusively making YouTuber statues, and I started to branch out and do more things. And this leads into the kind of like my top 10 favorite builds of all time portion of the video. So at number 10, with possibly the build that kind of like changed my channel forever, was the Krusty Krab, which, as I look back on it, isn't a great build, to be honest. It's not a great build at all, but it is the build that I kind of changed my entire channel because of. After I made this and after it gained so much success on YouTube. As a matter of fact, right now it's well over 8 million views. Before that, I'd never had a build or a video or anything get any sort of popularity nearing as much or as fast as the Krusty Krab did. This thing gained so many views and so many likes and so much attention so quickly that I couldn't ignore it, and that's when I started to branch out into different things. That's when I really started to listen to requests, and that is when I started to make stuff that you guys really, really wanted to see. So at number 10, we have the Krusty Krab. And at number 9, as a collective spot for just number 9, I want to have all of my SpongeBob related builds. So we have SpongeBob's house, we have Squidward's house, we have most of Patrick's house. What happened to the top of Patrick's house? We even have Mr. Krabs' house, and there are a couple more builds which aren't featured in this world that I would also like to add to this as well. But all of the SpongeBob houses as a collective are going to place number 9 on my top favorite builds list, because these are among the first cartoon builds, and these are among the first builds that I really enjoyed making that weren't pixel art. I had so much fun making and designing these that all of these collectively have to be number 9. They have to be. And all of them really did spur me on to kind of like mold my channel and really just change my channel for the better. At number 8, we have my hospital. I made this an incredibly long time ago now, but I remember this specifically being a build that I was very happy with. It looks a little bit simple now, but I still love it. I mean, it's very classic in terms of like you can recognize what it is almost immediately just by looking at the building. And we even have a joined on build here. We even have an ambulance to go with the hospital. But this is the first like real world build that I really planned out. Like we have parking bays, we have like an ambulance area. If we have a look inside, we have like a waiting room, and this is where like a gift shop would be. We even have like, if we were to come up the stairs, we have like escalators, and we have individual patient rooms in the hospital. I mean, as I look back, it does look a little bit simple, but it still deserves a place on this list because this is where I also started liking real world builds. We even have a helipad on the roof. This is where I really started to enjoy doing real world builds. This is when I started to like that. This is where I started to enjoy making bigger projects. So that is why my hospital deserves a spot at number 8 with all of the builds that surround it. At number 7, we have my Spider-Man Minecraft skin statue, which may look a little bit familiar to you guys. Do you see something? Do you see some sort of resemblance with the skin that I like to use and the statue that I made? This skin statue is probably my most popular skin statue build on the entire channel. I obviously love it because it's the skin that I like to use, but there's something about it that I absolutely love. It's got something insane like 2 million views, and I'm so happy that it does, and I'm so happy that it does coincidentally share the exact same skin that I like to use. It's kind of nice that my favorite one is also like the most popular video on my channel in terms of skin statues, and as kind of like an addition to that, just so that I don't show them at a later date in the video, I very much love my Avengers statues. We are missing a couple of Avengers because this is going a little bit back in time, but when the first Avengers movie came out, this is pretty much all who was involved. We have Captain America, the Hulk, we have Thor, Iron Man, Black Widow, and we have, of course, Nick Fury. So I also wanted to tag these into the number 7 spot. At the number 6 spot, we have my claw machine house. This is probably conceptually one of my favorite theme houses that I have ever made. It's not the best looking, it could be made better, but I love it anyway. This is a claw machine that I turned into a house. You guys may have seen this before, but I love this thing to bits. It's so simple, it looks great, you can immediately recognize it for what it is. It's also an actual functional house. If you walk up inside the claw machine, we actually have an awesome theme house inside of the house. It's so great. I love the interior, and you can even access the upper part of the claw machine where you would actually win the prizes, and inside of each one of the heads, which are the prizes, you can store yourself some nice hidden goods. Each one of the heads are hollow, and they could be used to hide like nice hidden things. But my claw machine house absolutely ranks on my 10 list of my favorite builds on my channel. It places right there at number 6. I do love this thing to bits. I really do. At number 5, we have my school. So this, as you might be able to tell, is a school. The reason that I love it so much is because, like the hospital, it's so simple, it's so recognizable, and it's very, very functional. So this is the school, and I'll show you the couple of builds that you can also add to this as well later, but this is the school. You can enter through the front, as you might imagine. We have lockers on the left, we have lockers on the right, we have a second floor, but on the ground floor, we have plenty of classrooms. We have classrooms that are laid out quite nicely. They're quite big. We have different kinds. We even have like a nice meeting room. This is where you would have assemblies and stuff. We even have a different variety of classroom on the ground floor as well. We have a science-based classroom. We also have, I believe this is a cafeteria. Yeah, this is a cafeteria where you'd get your food. If we have a look here up on the second floor, if we come up to the second floor, I'm pretty sure we have some repeats like we have... Oh, this version of the school actually doesn't have anything, but the tutorial version, I actually completely kitted out the school. But something we do have is we have the principal's office right up front and center on the school. And if we even have a look out back the school, by the way, you can get up on top of the roof, which is cool as well. If we have a look out back... Right out the back of the school, we have a little bit of a playground for the younger kids, and we even have like a basketball area for some older kids. And an additional build that you could also add to this school is this awesome school bus. I love this thing as well. If you combine both of those builds, you'll have yourself a really nice, easy to make school. It places number 5 on my list just because of how simple it is, just because of how much I love it. I wish I had the tutorial version to show you guys, because it's a little bit different, it's more detailed, and it even has a giant ender dragon flying above the school. But that is number 5, guys. Let me show you the next one. At number 4, we have my Christmas themed house. Don't ask me why I have some sort of a weird special spot in my heart for this build. I don't know. This is the very first Christmas themed house that I ever made. I love it. It is an awesome looking gingerbread house. For whatever reason, I just love this thing. There's something about it that when I look at it, I just like it more and more. I think I've built better Christmas style houses in terms of design, but I like it. There's just something about the build that I like, alright? Okay, that's all I wanted to say. I just want to throw Christmas build, my very first Christmas themed house, right in there at number 4. At number 3, we have a pixel art. We have my iPhone 6 pixel art. I love this thing. It also comes in white. I actually think it looks a little bit better in white. What I like about this a lot is the fact that it's so simple to make. It looks great. It has apps. It looks awesome. This is probably the only pixel art that I could put this far down the list, although there is another one that kind of does contend with it, but this is absolutely my favorite pixel art that I have ever made, without a doubt. I love this thing to bits. That is why it gets number 3 on my top 10 builds of my entire channel list. So I want to say that collectively, for the second spot, every single one of my water slides fit in the number 2 spot, and we are missing one of the slides as well that I didn't build in this world, but I would say that my water slide series is one of my favorite series that I have ever posted on the channel. If I had to choose a favorite, God guys, I mean, I love the last 3 especially. I love these 3. If I could just say that one of these is my favorite, if one of these is in the number 2 spot. I like them all for different reasons. Like this one I really like because it's kind of like modeled on the Mario tube. This one I really like because it's really functional and it's really fun to actually go down this one. But I also like this one as well because again it's like it's so functional, it works so well. I love all of my water slides to bits. I really do. But each one of these slides, I mean, you could make an awesome water park out of just these, 5 builds all together. You could make such an awesome park. I love every single one of them. If I had to choose a favorite, it would probably be this guy right here. It'd probably be this one if I had to absolutely choose gun to my head. But this is all of them collectively, all of my water slides are my second favorite build on the channel. I know it's a little bit boring, isn't it? But it's true. They're my second favorite build, all of these guys. And finally, guys, for the number one spot, I absolutely have to give it to my ultimate survival house. I know, but I love this thing so much. This is the very first ultimate survival house that I made. It has a special place in my heart. I love this thing. There's something about it that I found ever so perfect. This is the number one spot. It might have been predictable. It might have been very, very predictable, but I absolutely love this build to bits. If we have a look on the inside very, very briefly, I love the inside as well. We have such a nice functional house. There's something about it. It just flows so nicely. It's just so great. I don't know. I really love this thing. We even have the original Cinnamon here. Hello, Cinnamon. Thank you so much for joining us. I know you don't want to speak, do you? But I love this thing. It's when I got the very first idea, and I'm sure there were way loads of more people that did it before me, but it's when I first decided to independently just throw a nether portal on the side of the house, on the in front of the house. Like I said, this list is my favorite set of builds. If you don't agree, I'm sorry, but these are my favorite builds of my entire channel. I do have some more, but I did have to just narrow it down to 10. Some of them are very, very old, and some of them I like a lot, probably for nostalgia reasons, but there you guys have it. Those are my 10 favorite builds of my entire channel. And once again, thank you so much to every single person that has supported me, has subscribed to the channel, has helped me reach the goal of 1 million subscribers. It means so much more to me than you will ever know. I've invested so much time into reaching it. You guys wouldn't believe how happy I was when I actually hit it, and now that I have hit it. And I do want to leave the video off with this little thing. If you guys want me to make something, like 100% make a particular tutorial or just a video for the channel, let me know down there in the comment section. If you guys can reach a consensus on what I should make tutorial wise or just for fun, just as a fun video, just kind of like showcase it to you guys, let me know down there in the description. Once again, guys, thank you so much. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.